Is it Wednesday
Yeah,
already?
it's it's definitely hump day. We're here.
uh, it's a long hump, but we made it. We made it in
Yeah,
more
mate.
ways than one. But anyways, we're here. So let's do some roll call, and I'll just switch that on. So how have you been keeping, Nick, in this glorious hot day?
Yeah, I'm all right, mate. I'm all right. Bearing by, it's actually been like really nice to sort of spend the time outside in the sunshine, absorbing that vitamin D, doing a bit of gardening, and yeah, it's been nice. It's changed. It's like it feels like spring is finally here. So yeah, all good, mate. What about yourself?
Uh, it was like barbecue day today.
Yeah, I can definitely smell barbecue in the air for sure.
Yeah. So it
Mm,
was nice. We had the family around, got the pool
nice.
out. Nice. Anyways, hello, John P. I mean John Stokes. John P. John Stokes. I'm sunburnt from the heat. Now I got the wrong, right, John.
Hello, John.
Hello,
John P.
John P.
Adventures.
Yes, drumstick. How are you? And we got Samo Rockstar Mod. How you doing, man?
How's it going?
Wasn't there a goof on attached to
I think it might have
that?
been actually. Yeah.
I think there was. Oh, but anyways, Rebecca, how you doing? We'll be
Hi,
listening
Rebecca.
in. Yes,
It's
that's.
all good.
Thank
You're
you
working,
very much.
Rebecca, yeah? I can imagine so. I know you're quite busy at the moment.
Hey, Black Dot, how are you? I hope you're good. One True Saxon, how are you doing?
How's it
How are
going,
you
man?
doing?
Hope you're well.
Looks like. Oh, there you go. Sorry, nearly missed you. Oh, the buttons are not working. There we go. How you doing, Sheep Hop Hop?
Hey, Sheep Up Bob.
Right. Now I think that is definitely it. Definitely it. Oh. He's back from his signing autographs at his premiere of his movie or documentary, one or the other. It's Mr. Bob Rocket Balloon Lazars.
Nice. How's it going, mate?
Right. And we got Rotary.
Hey, Rotary, how's it going, man? Rotary,
And
can you
that's
hear an echo?
no one's talking, so you won't hear it.
Sorry, I'm just listening to the live stream. Probably have to turn my mic down a little bit, probably. But yeah, I hope you're doing well, man. Hope you're doing well.
Well, and that's it.
Cool. Okay, so Samo says it's fine. That's all good. Everyone say it's fine. Okay, cool.
It's
We're all good
probably
in the
them.
hood.
It's probably them listening in to us.
Yeah, like they were last time. Yeah. So yeah, in regards of today's topic, it's been on the cards for a while because me and Hidden were starting to talk about abduction cases, which is quite interesting. And I have to admit, there was a fascinating show that Hidden did yesterday, the Westall UFO incident in Australia. And what was interesting, actually, I've been collecting all these like vintage UFO magazines, and this one was from July of 1976. And I showed this to Hidden. I was like, Hidden, that's the craft, isn't it? It's actually like that in the original photograph. So yeah, he's like, what did you say it was? Like a bicycle bell?
Bicycle Bellman.
Yeah. So that's the actual photograph as well. But if you have a little look here, it says 5 days aboard a UFO, the full story on the Travis Walton case. So obviously, I'm not going to read this. Okay. So, but there is an article in here in regards of Travis Walton abduction, and this is like the early stages of his case. And it's quite interesting. Now, there's one thing I have noticed over the years, especially recently, is extremely divisive, isn't it? In regards of people's theories and thoughts on Travis Walton himself. Now, there's obviously people that has come forward recently. Is it Charlie White, I believe, as well, came forward and saying that the whole thing was just made up, basically. And like I mentioned many times before, Hidden, is that the fact you will get people that insert themselves into ufology, either to sell books, which is obviously back in the 1970s, that is the case, isn't it? Books, documentaries, TV deals, film deals, and that is like the whole shebang with the Travis Walton case. But before we talk about Travis Walton, I would just I just want to send my condolences to Nick Pope and his family, because obviously Nick Pope worked for the Ministry of Defence back in the 90s, looking into the UFO files, which, believe it or not, Hidden, the UFO files have been released. The 70s and 80s files. They're all there for you to look at.
I know.
And Nick Pope was part of that.
Been telling you guys this for ages.
Yeah, and it's part. If you read the Condign report that was released in 2007, and now I remember looking into this report, and the government, well, the Ministry of Defence, the MOD, has acknowledged that the phenomena is real, and that's their words in that document. All right. But yes, sadly, I know Nick Pope announced that he was forward stage cancer, and when you're at that point, Hidden, it's like it's harsh to say, but it's like a death sentence, isn't it? It's just you're waiting for your time, and I didn't expect it to be so soon. But what I'm going to do today is I've got my cider, and I'm just going to raise a toast.
I've seen cancer take people, so I know it's not a good thing.
I know, mate. I know. But Nick Pope knew what he was doing.
Bless him. Yeah. Bless him. That's all. Bless him, man. Bless him. I mean, I like the fact that he gave some interviews as well while still. So, you know, he did what he loved right until the end.
Yeah, this is it. And I know people sort of gave him, a lot of knock because he did, Ancient Aliens. But look, that's part of the course, man. That's, ufology is part of entertainment.
Well, he's got to eat as well.
Yeah, exactly. And it's not like he didn't know what he was doing. He worked for the UFO file, for Christ's sake. You know what I mean? So he knew what he was doing. But my condolences to his family and his friends. I'm going to raise a toast to my cider, which is raspberry influence, for Nick Pope. So let's all raise a toast. And rest in peace, Nick Pope.
I'll raise a toast too, man. I'll raise a toast to him.
Yeah.
Pour out some liquor for our dead homie.
Yeah, man.
And I do mean that. He is a homie, man. He is a homie. And yes, all the Ministry of Defense files are out there for you to see. If you scroll through my post, go back maybe a year and a half, 2 years, you'll start seeing files from governments all over the place. And the Ministry of Defense UFO files are there. CIA X files, CIA reading room files. Check them out, man. Check them out. And every so often, some new stuff will pop up, and that's where I post them.
Yeah,
I know some of you see them, but it is all out there. This is why for years, my voice, and then we'll get back to Travis. But I'll just say, like Nick, like you touched on it, it's there. Disclosure's come and gone, mate.
It's true. I think what people are really wanting is the back engineered craft.
Exactly. Or the unredacted files. That I can understand, because I was blown away maybe last year. The Department of Energy in America, the Department of Energy. Do you know that these guys, you cannot ask for a Freedom of Information Act? They're the only government department that is excluded from this. You can't get a Freedom of Information. They can just say no, and that's it. We can't do nothing. Yeah. You can't say, well, it's my right. They're exempt. They released it. They released a UFO document, heavily redacted, as you would expect. But
exactly.
Nevertheless, they released it. And that is, to me, rather than whinge about what came out, look at what came out and where it came out from. If they're ready to do this, even though it was nothing really, there was a few interesting lines in there, but it was heavily redacted. But the fact that they made that step means they'll probably be willing to do it again.
Because I think people in this community are expecting the crash retrievals, the extraterrestrials, the back engineered craft. I mean, that's the back engineered craft. You are talking about the Department of Energy for this incident. But I
That's
think
right.
people are expecting too much.
Not the
And
Department of Defense, not the Department of Justice. It's the Department of Energy. Watch
of
what those
energy.
cats are doing. And
Exactly.
like I said, there has to be something there if they're the only ones that are exempt from the Freedom of Information Act. Oh, sorry, I just
Exactly.
okay. Sorry, that's it.
Yeah. So toast to Nick Pope. Go. Hey, hello, Sadie. How's it going? Nice to see you. Hope you're doing well. What One True Saxon was saying. One True Saxon. I think I've got a VHS tape with Nick Pope's presentation that I'll be uploading to Alien Addict. Before we talk about Travis Walton, I have one problem. Okay. I have these two VHS tapes from America. That one's done, but there's a problem. This one here is not on the internet. Okay, this is extremely rare. It's showing only in black and white, and I don't know what to do to put this into color. So if anyone, I tell you what, I'll leave it for Friday. If anyone can tell me how to convert this into actual colored version, please contact me on alienaddictpodcast@gmail.com, because nobody wants to see black and white, and it's the same for the Vladimir Tazinski one. I don't know what's going on. I've used the S.
Couldn't you run it through AI and get it colored? Ask AI to color it.
I could do. I tell you what. I could go down to Video Shop and ask them to convert it for me, but because it's got the copyright symbol, they're like, "Oh, sorry, we can't do it." It's because I mentioned I had a YouTube channel, because they're afraid of copying it, put it into digital, sorry, and then me uploading it. But it's like, yeah, but you're not going to get copyright for it. This is it. So, oh yeah, good. Actually, yeah, good point, Rotary. I'll ask Grok for this. So yeah, this is from America. It arrived yesterday. Rare presentation, UFO cover up. Tom Gates right here, and I've got a few more arriving as well. So yeah, I tell you what, I'll do Grok first of all, and then maybe I can figure it out. But it's so annoying, mate. It really is. But yeah, there we go. Yeah. So I tell you what, these are quite cheap to get, believe it or not, because no one buys VHS players anymore unless you've got the digital converter, which costs about 250 quid. It's terrible. But I've got it already, but it's just really annoying when it's in black and white. Very, very frustrating. But anyway, should we get on to the main topic for today's show, Travis Walton? Because I don't know what your guys' opinions are in regards of Travis Walton. I'll talk about the people in chat here. Do you believe his story? Do you think he's a faker? The word grifter gets tossed around a lot in ufology. It's a bit like disclosure. It sounds a bit redundant at this point. But again, you're entitled to your own opinions, to be honest with you. But like I said before, you will get people insert themselves into ufology, make these wild claims. If I'm talking about wild claims, check out Alien Addict show on Friday. That want to either make money out of it,
There's a lot
deals.
of wild claims on Alien Addict.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, welcome to the show, mate. So again, so Rotary saying here, Travis played a game and got paid off. This is it, because you got to think about Fire in the Sky. He did a lot of interviews. I said to Hidden, he was on like a game show about, oh God, it was like a lie detector test that I saw, and it just seems like a big. It seems quite far-fetched with his story, like a bit of a game. So I have to admit, I'm very 50-50, especially when it comes to abductions. So that's just my thoughts on that.
See, the Travis Walton story, I don't know the ins and outs. I just know the certain basic things. And I always thought, this is why I'm interested to see the ins and outs, because I'm hoping it may change my opinion. But I think he's a con artist, and he's made money from it, and he's not even money. He's made a career off this. Yeah, and fair play, because there's many grifters that are in the community that are making it. You know, I think the difference between what they were doing then and what's going on now. It's then I think it was more tongue in cheek, Like you
Okay.
had the guys like Billy Myers, you know, and we
George
even laugh
Zamsky.
about
Yeah.
it. Zamsky and Travis Walton's It's Harmless Little Grift. But the grift
Hmm.
going on now seems a bit more intense. Like what's his name? That Chris guy?
Chris
Chris.
Bledsoe.
Yeah, thank you for saying that. I'm just gonna say one thing, Chris. Suck it, mate. Where's your orbs? Suck it. You know?
Because he did make a prediction, didn't he? He said on Easter that something was going to happen. It's like this is the thing hidden where when these people make these wild claims, these prophecies, so to speak, and then nothing happens. Hello, Shirley. How's it going? Nice to see you. Oh, lovely picture of your dog there. That's awesome. You'll find that they're setting themselves up for disaster, basically, because ufology just nothing really happens. There's a lot of wild claims, but nothing really falls through. And going back to what Shirley's saying there about the polygraph test, I think at this point, polygraph is very 50-50 because, again, you had Gary Ridgway, the Green River Killer, who killed. I shouldn't say that word. Sorry, hidden. Because it's YouTube here. Who
Unalived.
unalived 57 prostitutes. He passed the polygraph test, and also John Wayne Gacy, who unalived 25 boys and hid them underneath his crawl space. So again, you can make counter arguments in regards of polygraph. So again, unless you're just like a bloody psychopath, isn't it, really? But when you've got multiple people passing, and I think that Travis Walton's actually. I tell you what, we've got videos to play. Don't worry, we're not gonna dwell too much on us yabbering on because I'm not really clued in myself, to be honest with you. So we've got videos to show, and we're sort of going to go through his stories, the claims. And also, you guys put your input as well.
The
Because
reason
it's,
the reason why I said about Chris, yeah, I don't even
yeah.
can't even pronounce his last name. Don't even want to try. The reason why I said suck it, right, and the reason why is because he's pissed me off. And I said this to you before. You remember when he brought up the white lady and he straight up stole.
Yeah.
He straight up stole what Edgar Casey said, trying to make out this white lady said this. So anything from that point on, he's full of crap. He's been caught out, in my opinion. I called him out with this white lady foolishness because I remember what Casey said. And he said word for word what Casey said.
I see.
All right?
I see.
The reason why I said suck it, because when I was saying that in the chat, there was somebody in the chat was saying, so you think he's full of shit? And I was like, yeah.
Yeah.
So you know what?
Yeah.
Suck it.
Yeah.
Nothing ain't gonna happen,
mate.
and nothing ever will. He can push the dates back to March. He can push it back to September. He can do all that foolishness. The guy's an idiot, man. And he's the worst kind of idiot because he tells you something's going to happen. Nothing happens. My calculations were wrong.
Exactly. They're always backtracking. It's setting themselves for disaster, and I think people are going to clock onto this. I mean, hello, Moody. I'm going to say hello to Moody. He's in chat. He's saying here, Bledsoe used to be a property developer. He was in the news back in the early days.
Oops, sorry,
I said that wrong. Yeah, you got to put this up bigger because I swear to God, my reading, my eyesight's not that great. So yeah, it's saying here, Bledsoe used to be a property developer. He was in the news back in the day for scamming a bunch of house owners, buyers, if he scammed people back then. This is it. So he's got a backtrack record.
You got form? Sorry. Yeah. You got form, mate. You just been caught out. You just been caught out. But anyways,
okay.
Forget him. And forget these fools, and let's look at this fool, because it's April Fool's. Fool.
Okay, yeah, I did hear about that, Shirley. Yeah, they took several polygraph tests. I mean, like I said, like me and Hidden, we haven't really been clued in with Travis Walton case, so to speak. So it'd be good to sort of sit back and relax and observe some videos.
I'll just say you can't weigh your evidence on whether you passed or failed the lie detector tests, because all police use that for is just possible guilt. You can't use it in court because of the 60-40 chance of it failing to give false readings. It's and like Nick said, and CIA members will tell you, you can be trained to pass it.
This is it, yeah. Unless you're a psychopath like Gary Ridgway, the Green River Killer, you know. You know,
How
is
you
what it
doing,
is.
KJ? Nice to see you, brother.
How's it going, KJ? Hope you're doing well, mate. And Parasite's here. How's it going, man? How's it going? Nice to see you.
Uh,
Nice to see
nah,
you.
turn. I hope we're talking about Chris when you're saying the joke is on us. It's not. Turn the joke on him. Turn the joke on
Yeah,
him.
for sure, for sure.
Just keep writing to him saying, "Look, I got a bridge for sale."
Yeah, I've got a seaside property in Birmingham I can sell you. You know what I mean? So, oh dear. I tell you what we can do. Let's go all the way back to 1975 to the first interview with Travis Walton. I'm just
No
gonna let
worries.
the pass the. Okay.
No worries, mate. You still don't have to subscribe, but I'm glad you're here, brother. I'm glad you're here.
Where are we to? Hey Tony, how's it going? Nice to see you. Hope you're doing well.
Well,
What should I
KJ
should I
is
do
good.
first?
KJ, you need to come on the show once, man. You need to come on the show. Me and you need to have a little bifter together. I don't know if KJ even smokes, man. I think he drinks. Think KJ drinks wine. KJ's,
Okay.
this guy KJ Osborne. He's a bit of
No, I
he's an
haven't, mate.
idol.
No.
He's kind of an instructor to me, a teacher. I owe a lot of the hidden underbelly, especially the first channel. This channel not so much, but the very first channel, I owe that a
Yeah.
lot to him. I owe that a
Oh,
lot to
right.
him.
Sweet.
It's just me, and now I understand about him and the copyrights and all the issues you have, how they get you with. I did a video about a woman that in my opinion she faked the kidnapping, got her where she wanted to go, but there was many questions, so I put up an interview with her, and they gave me a community guideline strike. They said I was bullying her.
Really?
And it,
Wow.
it was an interview that was shown on TV, where even the interviewer was saying, "You did what?" Even he couldn't believe her story.
Moody, I've actually got that clipping you're talking about there, about the checks that they're all holding up. I don't know why that's in the corner there. I swear to God, I'm very PG-13 on this PC. But here is 1975's interview with Travis Walton. He was age 22, I believe. Age 22. So sit back and relax, and yeah, have a listen.
Perhaps the best thing to do would be to, for the first time publicly, recount your story from the time you were driving in the truck and what happened.
Well, the first part has been told by all the witnesses that recount my view of that. We just finished working, and because it was getting dark, we packed up to leave, and we all got in the truck and we were riding up the road.
Your mic's muted.
Sorry, is there another interview you want to play, or do you want to happy with keep this one? Because there's no visuals, you
How
see.
long is it?
30 minutes.
Yeah, because this is his first. Ain't this his first ever interview? Yeah.
Yeah, this first interview. Yes, yeah. Let's just play a bit so you can get the story first of all.
Yeah.
And we looked off to the right side of the road, and I saw a glow that I thought was a sunset or something. I was about to comment when we came past the thicket that where we were looking through to where we could see more clearly, and we saw a UFO hovering in the air about 30 yards off to the side of the road. Everybody started yelling, and they stopped the truck, and I wanted to get a closer look, and I got out of the truck and I started over there.
Hello there, hope you're very well. My name is Paul Smith. I've been a
Hello,
property
Paul
investor
Smith.
for the last 39
Go away, Paul. You're not welcome.
Everyone was yelling that to come back and to stop. I stopped and looked back, and somebody called my name, and I turned back around, and it started to make a noise and started to move, and I took one step. I crouched down behind a log that was there, and just as I started to raise up, I was just going to stand up. I didn't have any intention of going any closer, but it was just as if I was struck. It was kind of a physical blow it just knocked me back. I don't remember seeing any flash of light or anything like what they described. I just lost consciousness. When I regained consciousness, I was looking up at a light shining down on me from the ceiling. I could tell I was leaning up on a bed or a table or something because the ceiling was close. I was in a lot of pain. I couldn't quite bring myself totally awake.
What type of pain? What parts of your body?
It was kind of like in my head, but just all over it. I can't describe it. And I believed that I was in the hospital, and I was looking up at the ceiling, and I didn't make any attempt to move because of the pain I was in, but I felt something laying across my chest, and I looked down, and it was sort of a flat thing that kind of curved across like that.
Yeah, took batteries.
I couldn't focus my eyes very well, but I looked beyond the top edge of the thing that was laying across me, and I saw two men leaning over me. They weren't really men. They were a lot like they were a lot like men, but they weren't quite human.
What did they physically look like?
They were they had kind of underdeveloped features and no hair of any kind, and they were dressed in kind of a brownish orange.
How tall were they?
They were.
I don't think he's hypnotized.
Myself.
What type of clothing was they dressed?
It was sort of a loose cover-off. I didn't see any buttons or anything like that. But being in so much pain and everything, I didn't even think. I just lashed out and knocked them back. I could see that there was two on the right side and one on the left. I jumped into the corner.
Did you actually strike them? Did you actually touch them when you lashed out?
Yes, I did. I kind of hit these two with the back of my arm, and they fell back real easily.
Did it feel like hitting a person would?
Yes. They seemed light, like they weren't heavy, but I couldn't stand up very well. I leaned against, there was a bench across the back wall. I say the back wall, I mean, there was only one door. And I grabbed up a tube, a clear piece of glass or something, and I tried to break off the end to get something sharp to defend myself with, but they didn't try to approach. They just kind of put out their hands like that, and I was leaning up. I couldn't stand up very well, and I was breathing very heavily. And they didn't try to approach or anything. They just left. They just ran out real fast. And
with more categories on Vinted, you can sell the things that take up space.
Moody, what's the thing to put in the dash between the letters? I forgot which one is it. Is it the U and the B?
Don't use it, sell it.
My wife said, if you win, we'll fly to Asia. If I win, we'll fly to Paris. I bet you won't.
I was alone there for several minutes, and I couldn't catch my breath. It was very hot. And I was afraid they'd come back.
Thank you.
And so I left. They'd gone. There was a corridor outside, and they went to the right, and I went to the left.
You went through the door?
Yeah, there was no door. It was just a doorway.
An opening?
Oh, no.
And
you reckon that's AI? Is that too perfect?
It curved.
Yeah, that ad was definitely AI. What's that? 728. Okay, cool.
Is that were just too perfect, weren't they? Yeah,
perhaps the best thing to do would be...
Right, there you go.
There was another door with
Thank
no
you, Moody.
doorway. It was just a hole. And I went into a room there, and...
Had you gone very far distance at that point?
It was only about 30 feet or 40 feet. I don't know. Not very far. No, not even that far. I don't remember. It was a very narrow corridor, and it was dimly lit everywhere. And I went into this room that you could see out. It was. You could even see the stars back through the wall I just came through. It was. I could still see that there was walls, but I could see the stars at the same time.
They didn't look like windows?
No, it wasn't like that. And there was nothing in the room but a chair with some controls and knobs and things. I just kind of, I was hysterical. I was frantic, and I just moved around in there for a while, and I started fooling with the buttons there.
Did you sit in the chair?
And I did later. First I just touched it, and I didn't think that I should be. I was afraid I'd mess something up and that somebody would come.
Sounds like a little schoolgirl.
I heard somebody come in, and I turned around, and it was a man, just like people. I mean, he wasn't like the other creatures or whatever at all. He looked just like you and I, except he had a helmet on, a sort of a clear helmet.
And he had hair and everything?
Yes. I started babbling questions to him, and I ran over there, and he wouldn't answer me. He just took me by the arm and wanted me to go with him. I thought maybe he can't hear me through the helmet. So we went out through the door, down to the right, and out to the left. There was a small room there. It had doors on it, and it was kind of like an airlock thing. It was just a small room with nothing in it. And then there was a door that went outside, and there was a ramp that went down, and it was cool outside. I could feel wind. There was a draft or something. It was a large room. This thing was sitting on the floor, in there, and it was shaped like the drawing that they made, like the thing we saw the first time, only bigger. And there was two other things in there, other UFO-looking things that looked like flying saucers, kind of, except they were rounded, an oval shape, and they're really shiny like chrome. It was a big room, like there was a lot more room in there, and it was a curved ceiling.
Hey, science evidence fringe.
And it had flat ends to the room. I came out of the door, out of that first ship, facing this way, and there was a doorway across in the far wall. He led me across there, and through that doorway down a hallway to a room, and I'd had a burning in my chest, and it was starting. I felt better. I was trying to get this man to tell me what I asked him if he was from Earth, and just.
Do you want me to continue, Hidden? I mean,
yes,
you've got
yes.
Yeah,
no,
okay.
No. I think the reason why it's important is this is his first interview, so we should hear what he says, because we're going to end it off with his most recent interview.
Because this is like laying the foundations for his abduction case, isn't it? And to be honest with you, I mean, there's one way you can say, look, he's very nervous during the interview, in a way that he's making the story up. I'm not saying that this is the case. It doesn't sound that convincing. And who put that in chat about the Betty Barney Hill? B1. Yeah, I mean, that will probably be the next one we'll probably do, Betty Barney Hill.
Yeah, we should do it quick before
we should do that
movies comes out, innit?
Yeah, exactly. So we'll just continue on this for a bit.
Anything I could think of, and he wouldn't answer.
Was he expressionless? Did he have any expression?
No, he looked friendly. He gestured and smiled, but there was no words.
In this place that you were in, could you see out?
Benny Hill.
No, there's no way out there.
Did I say that right?
So you were going from one ship to another, was that essentially it?
Yeah, see?
Yeah. This must have been inside of a larger building or ship. I don't know if it was a large ship or a building. There was no way. I never felt any motion or anything. It was just like being in a large building all the time.
Large building.
Solid. I was led down the hallway. The man sat me in a chair and in a room with 3 other people that were like himself. They were dressed in blue. And he went out. There was a door on the other side. He went on through. And I sat in the chair, and I tried to get the people to talk to me that were there, and they didn't have things on their head. And so I thought that maybe they could hear me, but they wouldn't answer either. There was 2 men and a woman in the room after the first man left. A man and a woman came from around the table, and they each took me by the arm. They led me over to the table and got me up on the table. And I don't know why I should cooperate with them, but they put a
the weed was just
a
too
deal
good.
over my face. It was kind of like an oxygen mask thing. It was kind of clear plastic.
They turned him into a gift.
A brown black thing on it about that big, just attached to it. And I looked up at the ceiling, which was it was all solid light. There wasn't any light fixture or anything. The light in the room just coming from the ceiling. And that was last I remembered. I went to sleep until I woke up. I was laying on the pavement. It was very cold. I woke up very suddenly. And I was.
That's a night out with Bill Cosby.
I looked up the roadway. I was laying outside it. It was night, and I could see a light.
Not a legend.
On the bottom of of
Tried
a
and
flying
convicted.
saucer that looked just like the rounded ones that were inside there. And it was very shiny, but the only light came out of the bottom, but then that went off, and it just went straight up really fast, just without a sound.
When he
What
was
were your
smoking.
feelings at that point? Were you still in pain?
Sticks and seeds.
Did you know where you were?
I didn't know where I was immediately, but I recognized the roadway, and I could see a light down the hill, so I ran down that way. And it was about a mile, or a half a mile to Heber, and I ran down to the phone booth that is by the gas station there. And I called my brother-in-law, and I don't know what I said. I was hysterical. And he answered and said, "Who is this?" And I tried to tell him, and he said, "I think you got the wrong number." And he started to hang up, and I screamed at him that, you know, it was me. And so he stopped, and he said,
How can he not know his brother's own voice? Do you know what I mean?
"Oh, okay, I'll get somebody to come and get you." And I hung up, and I just couldn't stand up anymore, and I just sat down there.
Were you in physical pain?
No, not at the time. I didn't feel any more pain. I just was so weak I couldn't stand
Well,
up.
it's back
I
in the
was
days.
extremely thirsty.
Remember?
And I haven't been able to make any purpose out of that or anything, but that's the way it happened.
We'll be joined by Jim Lorenzen of Aerial Phenomena Research Organization after these messages.
Oh, never
We've been joined
smoked
now by Jim Lorenzen, who is the director of APRO, the Aerial Phenomena Research Organization. Jim, before we get to you, I think there's one question that I would like to pose to Travis, and it's a question that's been bothering a lot of people. And Travis, why didn't you bring your story to the media?
Well, my family told me about the news people and all the people that were crowding around, and I was just in no condition to talk to anybody, especially, you know, a mob of people like that. I just couldn't handle it.
Is that typical, Jim, in cases?
It is in some cases, yes. I can vouch for what he said, because when I first saw Travis, he was in a very unsettled state, and he was really in no position to defend questions or to respond.
You have listened to the description that he gave us of his ordeal. What are your comments, your reactions in comparison with past cases?
Well, I was struck by the fact that he described these beings that didn't look quite human. He described them precisely the way another person has described them who had a similar experience. Now, this case has not been published anywhere, and no case like it that I know of has been published, so it's something that Travis could not have read anywhere. And the descriptions are identical.
There was some apparent
Nick, can you pause it a second?
conflict between different...
Yeah, what's up?
Who is he talking to then?
He's talking to, oh my God, it's an organization out in the 70s that were studying UFOs and abduction cases. I can't remember what they bloody just said. I can't remember the acronyms, mate.
Would it be in the description box of this video?
Probably. I could have a little look.
Yeah, it's
But
just.
why?
I'm just wondering who he's speaking to now. When he said, you know, like, well, he's nailed it with. Could he have been lucky with this other that they hadn't disclosed? So we're just wondering what agent, who's the FBI? FBI, sorry. Who's the alphabet gang he's with?
It doesn't say description, mate, unfortunately. Do you want me to go back a bit?
No, because there was nothing said. He just started talking.
Yeah. Oh, I can't remember. There's an organization in the 1970s. I'll try and find it. Hold on. We'll play it.
Different organizations, UFO organizations, over Travis's story. Why are you defending it, and why did the others seemingly discount it?
Well,
what's up?
Go back a bit, because he just said we stopped. I jumped the gun.
Sorry, get back. There you go.
Are identical.
There was some apparent conflict between different organizations, UFO organizations, over Travis's story. Why are you defending it, and why did the others seemingly discount it?
Well, some people get concerned about their image, and they don't realize that this subject has many facets to it that can be, embarrassing in the sense that public acceptance is lacking. The story seems, to the uninitiated, pretty wild. I think of the fact that our organization has now going on 24 years experience made us able to cope with this in a much more sane and realistic manner than people without that kind of
Yeah, that's it. Aerial Phenomena Research Organization. Thank you, David. Much appreciated, mate.
Experience.
Thank you.
Could you tell us what kind of testing that Travis has undergone, what the results were of that, and what the plans are for the future?
Well, I can do this generally. We had him checked by a couple of MDs. And
yes, mate.
do you still have that aerial phenomenal research? There it is. Aerial phenomenal. Do you still that? Could you quickly tell us what that does? Just the AI short summary of what they do. Because I've never heard of that organization. Are they MUFON?
Hold on.
Did they evolve into MUFON? No, MUFON's independent.
No, MUFON's. MUFON was back in. Hold on, because there's so many different organizations.
Yeah. Let's stick with the aerial phenomena research.
So was it aerial phenomena? Was it aerial phenomena organization? Help me out here.
Oh, sorry. Aerial Phenomena Research Organization.
Okay. Oh, okay. So the organization. So APRO is one of the earliest, most respected civilian UFO research groups in the United States. It was founded in January of 1952 by husband and wife team Jim Loranzen, electrical engineer, and Carol Rolanzen in Wisconsin in Wisconsin. So in the 1960s, they moved to the headquarters in Arizona, where they remain until the group was disbanded. I don't think they're still going now, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Oh, so they disbanded in 1986 due to the death of Jim Loranzen and Carol in 1988. Okay, so yeah, so that was one of the first organizations, a bit like MUFON,
yeah,
which is Mutual UFO Network.
Or GUFON.
No, not that, for Christ's sake.
And they ran some tests. I don't have all the results, but I can say this, that there was urine analysis done on the first urine sample after his incident, and this completely does away with the idea that there was any drug involvement that some people brought up. That and the blood samples really straighten that out. There's none of that involved, and he's been interviewed in great depth by some very well-respected psychiatrists. and they have concluded that he is not a party to any hoax, and that he's telling the truth. Now, when we call in witnesses, or I mean call in experts like this to interview witnesses, of course we call them in because we feel they're qualified to make those judgments. And I have no trouble accepting those judgments at all, particularly, as I mentioned, since parts of his story really correspond with cases that we know of already.
Was this under regressive hypnosis?
Now, regressive hypnosis has been performed by still another man. In fact, it's performed by Dr. Jim Harder of Berkeley, University of California at Berkeley. He's our research director, and he is a specialist in this sort of work, and has been involved in quite a few other cases. Under the regressive hypnosis, he relived the thing just essentially as you saw here, probably with a little more detail.
What other kind of tests would he be going through in the future?
Well, you see, we're really sort of past the testing stage in a sense. In other words, from now on, I think you'd be more likely to call it research. We hope to have this memory, the blocked memory, relieved so that we can get a full account of what happened. This may take time, and there may be a program delay that we just have to wait for. It'll just depend on how he feels as time goes by.
Why not the polygraph test? This has been a major criticism.
All right. Because a lot of people have criticized it because they think polygraph is a lie detector, because it's called that, but it's not. And Travis was under that impression too. He was anxious to take a lie detector or polygraph test. I advised him not to, and several other people advised him not to, because what it actually measures is stress. And questions about stressful memories would bring stress reactions just as well as anything else. So it would have been meaningless to have him take that test at the time. It could have been, in fact, one of the psychiatrists said it would have been a disaster for him to take it at the time. It would have created a lot of false impressions.
How would you explain the other 6 witnesses taking a test and having passed it then?
Well, their memories, of course, are not blocked. They remember what happened. It wasn't the same sort of stressful situation that Travis has obviously gone through.
Travis, what would you like for your future? What would you like to have come of this?
Just acceptance of myself in the future. I have had a lot of offers of people trying to turn it into some kind of a profitable thing, but I have no interest in any of those kind of offers. I just want the truth to be known. I have intentions to cooperate with research with reputable men that are, genuinely scientifically interested, like the men with APRO. And but as far as any kind of a big, project like that,
I think we've talked about this to some, and Travis doesn't want to make a big deal out of it. He just wants to quietly find out what went on in that period, if it's possible, if it'll help advance the state of knowledge on this subject.
Do you wish it had never happened to you?
Well, hindsight, I don't know. What happened.
There we go. So also there's some other organizations that were looking into Travis Walton case. So you had NICAP, which is a National Investigation Committee on Aerial Phenomena. You had SUFOS, which is essential for UFO studies. Obviously, this is linked to J. Allen Heinrich. You had MUFON, which is the Mutual UFO Network. Also, you had NUFORC, which is National UFO Reporting Center, I should say. But the best one, which is a bit of a mouthful. So I tell you, we'll come out of that so you can play the latest video. Just to show you. So I've got this magazine from 1970s with a Hawaii photograph right here, and it was taken by a Japanese guy right here. And the people that actually investigated this is ICUFON. And do you know what this actually stands for? So it stands for Intercontinental UFO Galactic Spacecraft Research and Analysis Network. I mean, seriously, these people are so pretentious with these bloody acronyms. I'm not joking. So yeah, I'll repeat that one more time. So the ICUFON, Intercontinental UFO Galactic Spacecraft Research and Analyze. I can't even. It's such a mouthful. And that was set up in 1966.
That's funny.
So it is quite funny. Yeah. So there we go. That was the first interview with Travis Walton, which seems the foundation. Well, obviously, this is the foundation of his abduction case. Now, a lot of people in chat don't believe a word that he's saying, really. Bear in mind, he was 22 years old, and if he was faking this, in my opinion, he didn't really do a good job. But again, all the butt stuff he went through probably didn't help his case either. So I mean, it's just like when he's had his trousers down his ankles when he was dropped off. It's like saying something, you know what I mean? But anyway, I mean,
the Crosby cocktail.
God's sake, bloody hell, Moody. But in regards of Travis Walton case, it's what do you do here? Do you want us to view? So,
well, I think
the gist.
I think with the case, you have to look at what he's saying, then look at the evidence. Is there a lot of trust me, bro?
Yeah.
Is there any actual evidence apart from, well, there is eyewitnesses to this, what happened.
Yeah, but they came out years later saying that it was fake. I mean, someone mentioned here, it might have been you, B1, talking about his boss, saying that he just sort of made it up because he could potentially make money. I tell you what, going to what Moody was saying in regards of that, do you want to bring up that photograph? Check this out. Okay. Here we go. This is what Moody was actually talking about. All right. So reward winners. Okay. So Travis Walton, foreground. Here's Travis right here, who told of being abducted by UFOs, shows off a check for $2,500. 6 others who saw the incident shared $2,500. Left is Alan Dalis. Obviously the people involved here. So again, this guy looks happy. That guy looks like Jeffrey Dahmer. That guy looks like the serial killer who was on that game show. They're all looks like serial killers.
He looks more like Thingy, the Night Stalker.
Actually, yeah, he does, doesn't he? Yeah. But that guy, this guy looks happy. He's like, I got some money out of this.
Yeah, he looks like he should be hosting some like Noel Edmonds, Mr. Blobby House. But that guy, the guy there in the middle.
Oh, sorry, did I say the word wrong? Oh, I do apologise. Award. I hope you feel better over that. Who bloody cares? But there we go. We got some money that these guys.
In the middle. The guy in the middle. No, the guy in the middle.
Travis, right? Well,
no, not Travis. Yeah, him.
Him.
That's definitely Dexter, man. Look at him, man. That's a guy you don't want to see standing over you, man.
Absolutely, mate.
Yeah, they got their checks.
They've got their checks. He seems happy. And here we have the man on the left. He's like, mate, I've got. Did they both actually? Or no, all of them got $2,500, isn't it?
Yeah, it's the Mandela effect, Tony. But yeah, this was a real thing. It was the National Enquirer. They got paid from. I'm just passing on the information here. So there was a little incentive. I don't know if he knew about the award.
Or say the word right, because it might offend some people. Because you get these people a bit sensitive and they get the words wrong. It's like, oh, we got a word wrong. So anyway, but yeah, that is a real article. I don't know where it's actually came from, actually. I tell you what, I'll put it through ChatGPT.
National Enquirer.
Oh, it was National Enquirer, wasn't it? Yeah, because I tried to actually look for the original newspaper article in regards to this, and I couldn't really find it on the internet. Unless I can put that through. I don't know, but that is from a real newspaper article. There we go.
So
let's put that through in there. Would that work? Where is this?
But it's I don't know. I mean, still though, I don't know. I like the spiel he was given. I gotta admit,
I had a ring to it. Yeah.
I like the spiel. Now, if there were other cases at that time as well, that let's say like how they said, see the thing with MUFON, any kind of agency, I can't say that. Look, the thing that I know with MUFON, others are a bit more savvy with like the NUFORC.
Yeah.
That organization, they're a bit more savvy because if you go in there, they try and give you a rational explanation that certain people who put videos out don't tend to look at that rational explanation. But anyways, but MUFON doesn't. And MUFON doesn't vet their footage. It's just out there. And there's people that have been putting clips from movies on there, for Christ's sakes.
Yeah.
Still shots. But this is what I'm trying to say. These organizations, they're prone. So just because this is what do you call them? Like another MUFON.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
It could be all part of the grift. They could be grifting. I don't know, man. He hasn't convinced me yet. I like his story, but I'm not. Like I said, I came in saying, "Look, this guy's made a living off of this."
Yeah. Going on what Sheep Pop saying there, question: why did they get rewards? So it's saying here the National Enquirer Prize Cash Fund. This was for the best UFO case of the year in 1975. That's according to Grok right here. I can't find the original article. So yeah, so they were awarded the best UFO case of the year in 1975 by the National Enquirer Prize Fund. There we go. Yeah. Okay, so it's saying here, crew members were holding up small checks, total amount of $5,000 split between Walton and 6 other witnesses. Okay.
That's not a lot.
It's not a lot when you think about
How
it.
How long ago was that? What was the year of that?
So this was in 1975. I'm trying to get the exact date on this one.
That was all right, man. That was all right back then.
Oh, it says most likely December the 16th of 1975. Which is still a lot of money back then, isn't it?
Yeah, back then that was that'd have got you a few bags of weed. maybe see them aliens again, them dear aliens.
You don't know, yeah.
So what do you think so far?
I'm not too sure, mate. The thing is, as a UFO researcher, and I do have a lot of cases in regards of abductions, well, you can see like some of them right here. There are a lot of dubious cases in regards of this. Like I said before in the beginning of the show, you will get people insert themselves into ufology and make these wild claims. And you do have that word again, grifters, people that just want to insert themselves into ufology lore, and they make up these wild claims to, again, sell books, magazines, documentaries. Look at Age of Disclosure. I mean, look at the other people that are in the UFO zeitgeist at the moment. It just seems to get book deals.
You used an interesting word there. You said lore, the UFO lore.
Yeah.
Now,
but it is, isn't it?
To me, when you say the word lore, then you already know these stories are fanciful and make believe. Like we have the Greek lore of gods.
I mean,
a ship wrecked and we blame Poseidon for it. Not bad sailing and unknown waves.
I mean, here's a typical example. I've got a book here. We've covered this actually. The Gulf Breeze sighting. That photograph,
I still like it though. I still like it.
But
I hate that it's fake.
It's a good point, because when you go through this book, oh, by the way, this is the original book, and guess what? I bought it, and it's actually signed by Ed Walters and Francis Walters. There we go. All right. Once you read this book, because you have so many people that don't really know this case, they see the photographs, they go, oh my God, it looks so real. But when you read the book, it sounds like a comic book. It's so far-fetched. It's actually quite hilarious. There's a picture in here. I wonder if we could be able to find it. Mate, it's hilarious. I don't know if I showed it when we did the live stream on it. I don't think I did. And there's a picture of Ed Walters, here it is, in his garden with his fist in the air when you got the UFO in the background. He's got a towel. He just came out of the shower. You know what I mean? And if you look at these photographs right here of these flying saucers, it's
nice
very much far-fetched. Yeah. But the thing is, MUFON was part of this. They were a massive part of this investigation. So again, you have to sort of balance the two. It says that you do get fakers in here. Look at Billy Meyer. Look at George Adamski, Ed Walters, Paul Villa, Daniel Fry, you know, all these people that claim to be abducted. It's just fancy stories, but they got photographic evidence to go along with it. Now, am I saying that is to do with the same situation with Travis Walton? Again, you know, I want to give a benefit of a doubt, but again, we just have a backtrack of record of people faking stories. Again, insert themselves into the UFO lore. See what I'm seeing, Hidden?
There you go. Of gods, of deities.
Yeah. I mean, if you look at Billy Meyer, right, like, how come he hasn't been abducted or have these photographs since the 1970s? He's still alive now. You can still do it. Do you know what I mean? It's just what it is.
They moved on, man. They moved on. They're now talking to Chris. Suck it, Chris. Suck it.
I just, yeah.
Hey, you know, in March,
in
March, Nick, you know, when March rolls up, you know what I'll be saying? Suck it, Chris.
Suck it, Chris. Yeah. It's a bit of a fancy show at the moment, isn't it?
That's a thumbs down to Chris. We'll give you a thumbs down, Chris. There you go. Thumbs down, man. Big thumbs down. See, I censored myself there.
You did, mate. You're very, very careful. You're very careful. So, do you want to play the latest interview with Travis Walton and see what he's saying? What's that? 40? No, it'll be more than that, isn't it? 50 odd years later or something like that.
Yeah, let's see. Let's see if he's any more convincing now than he was then. I mean, it's a good story. It's a good story, man. It's a good story.
Yeah. Have you got that video?
I sure do.
You sure do. Awesome.
It's just going through the process.
Okay.
I didn't want to draw.
I'm guessing.
No. I have an ad blocker, mate.
All right, then rub it in. Is it free?
Of course.
Okay, I'll bear that in mind.
All right, let's start it at the beginning. I haven't watched it. You know the script with me, but this was whoops. Right. Look at this guy's here. Look at this.
Hey, man. Scottish Alan. How's it going, mate? Welcome on in.
This was 3 months ago. Yeah. Look at this guy. He looks like a Mr. Potato Head.
Are you in Toy Story 5, mate?
He don't look right. Don't he look like he's kind of superimposed? Like the body, but that head don't match the body. Is it me? Is it me? Nick?
No, mate. No, I'm with you on that one. Yeah, it doesn't. Everything's not in proportion.
This guy's like, what the hell am I doing here, man? Sitting next to this dude. What the hell is that? Tell me that's a mask, isn't it?
Oh, bloody hell.
All right, stop rinsing this guy. Just hurry up, man.
Welcome to Unknown, where we explore the bizarre, the mysterious, and sometimes unsettling. And today, we're going to do a deep dive into one of the most interesting and infamous stories in Arizona history with our special guest, Travis Walton. Thank you for joining us, sir.
Thank you for having me.
Mr. Walton, it's a pleasure to have you. Now, we want to go back to 1975, so 50 years last month. You were taken from where you were in the forest and came back almost a week later with a tale, which was truly extraordinary. Now, if you could explain to us, just you were part of a logging crew.
Yeah, there were 7 of us.
Mm-hmm. So just another night going in that forest. Can you tell us about what brought you out there? And what you saw?
We'd been putting in long days, needed to finish the contract. It was almost completely done, but few more long days and we'd have it all done. And as we were headed home, we saw this glow coming through the trees. And at first I thought, no big deal.
Right. Sorry, I'm going to pause it there. Listen, Alien Brothers, just email me. You can find it in one of my videos. And if I come across, but it's quiet everywhere, man. Everyone's feeling it. Trust me, it's quiet. Okay, back to the story. Sorry for pausing it. I'm not going to pause it no more. Just email me, brother. Right. Here we go.
Long days, needed to finish the contract. It was almost completely done, but few more long days and we'd have it all done. And as we were headed home, we saw this glow coming through the trees. And at first I thought, no big deal. We knew it was deer hunting season. Could hear shots in the distance during the day. I thought maybe hunters camped up there on the hill or something. And when we got through the trees where we could see the source of the light, we saw this craft hovering there. And it was so shocking. All of us at once were just, I didn't say it's a UFO. Somebody else on the crew said that, but I thought it was going to take off. It just as soon as we came into view, that it'd just be gone. So that was the reason I jumped out and headed towards it, thinking just get a closer look before it gets away.
Describe it for us best you can. What did it look like?
Well, it was a glowy metallic disc. And one thing was kind of distracting from studying the appearance of it was the glow, the way it shone on the brush and the trees and the ground, the way everything had a real strange look to it. Plus, the sounds it was making was completely off the range of human hearing on the high end and the low end. Very hard to describe, but a very pulsing and high frequency sound too.
So you get out of the truck and you're walking towards this craft. What your other crew that's there with you in the truck? What are they doing at the time as they're seeing you get out?
They're saying crazy SOP. I mean, excuse my language, but they were saying, "Come back, get away from there," and that would have been the smart thing to do.
Just half walk, half ran it to about here, and started to be a little more cautious right here, and I slowed down to a walk, and it was kind of cold. I put my hands in my pockets, and suddenly the sound got a whole lot louder, and it started to move. So I jumped down behind this log right here.
I can't get over the dishonest haircut.
And I jumped down like this, and I raised up, and I turned to go, and I just felt a numbing shock.
I didn't see what hit me. I just felt like I'd been hit by a truck. But the crew said this blast of energy came out of the craft, threw me through the air. And they said they were yelling to each other, get us out of here. He's dead. He's dead. And they were all convinced it had killed me because the way my body landed like a wet rag, it's just completely limp.
Wow. So you were out of it at that point. What do you remember next?
I just woke up. I thought I was in a hospital. I dimly remembered encountering the craft, but I thought, well, they must have taken me to the hospital. So I couldn't focus very clearly. I was in a lot of pain, head and chest area. And I could see.
You know what, Nick? I'm trying not to look at the haircut. Yeah.
I was just ripping on this guy, man. He's just had things shoved up his ass, so he's been adopted. I mean, come on, it's like, rip
no,
his
I
hair
can't
out.
get, I can't. It's how can a haircut be dishonest, but it does look dishonest. But I'm turning over now because I can't look. I'm trying to stop laughing, so I'm trying to look at the chat, and then I see the chat ripping it on his haircut. You can't win, man. All right, let's get it out of our system. Let's get it out of our system. All right.
We're all good. We're all good.
Everybody all right now? We got the dishonest haircut joke.
Okay, put the glue away. We're all good.
It's classic, man. It is a classic one. How could a haircut be dishonest?
These forms around me, I couldn't quite make out, but it seemed to me like they were doctors. You know, maybe they're wearing surgical caps and gowns where only their eyes were exposed. But when I could clear my vision better, I could see that these weren't doctors, that these were these creatures that were looking at me.
What's your first thought when you realize that these are not human beings that you're looking at?
Well, that was the total impression that I have of the whole experience at that time, is that these are horrible monsters, and this pain that I'm feeling is being inflicted by them. It was only later that I realized that perhaps I had misunderstood. I was screaming all kinds of questions at them, getting no response whatsoever. But one thing I've heard in other reports is their expressionlessness. And humans have a tendency to, when we see that in other people, to interpret that as hostility. But if they're telepathic, they don't need smiles or frowns or any sorts of things. Their communication with each other is probably much richer than ours is with vocal communication. But I think probably because of the injury hitting me in the head and chest, that it somehow interfered with any kind of telepathic reassurance, if that's what they were wanting to do.
It must have been terrifying. I mean, did you get the sense, did you try to get away somehow? Were you strapped down?
I jumped up this thing they had over my chest. I was feeling a lot of pain in my chest. Are they doing this to me? No, they were fixing something that I had caused by sort of very negligently getting too close and becoming injured. But at that time, I attributed all the pain, and I felt like I was dying. I felt it was because of them. But over the years, it took me to figure out that that doesn't fit in with everything else that happened, you know, that they returned me at all. I mean, they could have dumped my body somewhere and never said a word, and the crew would have been hung for murder, and that'd been the end of it if total secrecy was all they was their top priority. But I think that these beings are probably capable of everything they're doing here and remaining completely undetected. I think the sightings and experiences people have on the fringes, on the outer limits of what's accepted, is intentional.
Really?
I think it's having the purpose, whether they mean to or not. I think, in my view, probably the reason for it is to get us used to the idea. We're not the end-all, be-all. And I think we'd behave a lot better towards each other if we acknowledge the fact that there's always greater and lesser intelligences than us. And they're getting along just fine, so why can't we? You know, at any one time, we've got over 100 wars going on, and there's no reason for that.
So you're in the craft, you're having this experience where you feel like they are repairing your injuries with what's happening. What are the next moments that you remember?
Well, I was, felt I was under attack, and I was grabbed up an instrument. I didn't study it all. I was just grabbing something I could fight them with, and I was lashing out at them, and they just turned and left the room. No sound, no explanation, no nothing. So I went looking for a way out, and encountered a human-looking being who took me out of the craft. And I thought, well, this was a rescue, maybe some U.S. military or something of that nature. But do
you remember what he looked like?
Well, he was tall and muscular, had a tight-fitting blue uniform, no insignia, but he had a helmet over his head. And I figured that maybe the reason he wasn't answering me is because he couldn't hear with that on. So, but he looked human. That was much more reassuring to me. So when he took me by the arm and led me out of there, I was only too happy to go.
I bet. And did you get any sense of what the other beings looked like, or how big they were, or any other features?
Well, they were small and huge heads and very large eyes. But, when I was lying on my back, they were still above me and in a very weakened condition. So I was terrified. But, I've heard other descriptions of these types of beings, being small, hairless, huge cranium. Yeah, that occupied my nightmares for a while.
Is it hard to talk about to this day?
Yeah, it is. I don't go there willingly. It's not something I live day to day around home. I've got a big family, and that's my primary interest and activity.
Can I ask you real quick too, as you were walking through the story and you were describing where even incidents today were just the human ability to even talk about these things, to put them into words. How is that, with describing these moments? Does it feel like we even have the capacity to explain to another person, here's what I saw and here are the details?
Yeah, I've made a lot of adjustments. At the time I was, sort of trying to pleading with people, believe me, I'm telling you what happened. There was a lot of doubt. People, unfortunately, they believe what they prefer to believe. Mm-hmm. And I've come to kind of a philosophy about that, that it all comes down to facts and reasoning. Are your facts true and accurate, complete, and is your reasoning valid? Any sort of emotional reaction you want to have to that has no business affecting the outcome of your judgment. Let's find out what happened. That's what's important. I'm not saying feelings and emotion are irrelevant. They're just a part of deciding what's real and what isn't.
Do you ever remember any part of how you actually got out of there and got back to safety?
I woke up after they rendered me unconscious. Looked like some kind of a gas mask sort of thing. But when I woke up, I was on a little hill overlooking the town of Heber, the town nearest where this happened. It's probably the only place they could have dropped me where they could remain undetected, but yet I could see where help was and go to it.
Old Spice. That was it.
So those moments of you're seeing Heber, and then of course you woke up and you're back on the ground, back on Earth.
Yeah.
That's what it felt like.
Ran down into the town, pounding on doors. There was one building with lights on, smoke coming out of the chimney, but nobody came out.
If we could hold that thought real quick, Mr. Walton, we're about to go to break. But again, the most famous abduction case, of course, in Arizona, and one of the most famous in the country. Such a pleasure to have you here. And we're going to get back to your arrival here back on Earth in just a minute. But you're watching Unknown. Stay with us. Travis Walton here telling his story. Mr. Walton, you were telling your incredible
What do you think so far?
He's had 50 years to make the story to absolute perfection, so his body language is very still, isn't he? He doesn't really emit or remote his
he's
stories.
looking old as well.
Because he's told the story so many times. A bit like Bob Lazar. No offense, Bob Lazar in chat. But in regards of his story, he's had a lot of time to... Because bear in mind, he's hit the conferences circuit. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. And did he write the book himself?
Oh, not too sure on that one, mate.
Could you check that out? It'd
Yeah,
be interesting to know if he wrote the book himself. Because, again, we went through this before with another story.
Yeah, Bill Herman.
Yeah. And I think he kind of got screwed. But we understand now how these go. So let's see if he wrote the book.
Abduction. Yes, he did. Travis Walton wrote the book titled The Walton Experience, published in 1978, which details his alleged abduction experiences. Obviously, this was later adapted to Fire in the Sky film.
So he got movie rights on that as well.
So, exactly, yeah. So he would have made some decent money. Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
Black Dot reckons 5 million. But that's 5 million that they can find, because once you hit 1 million, you they kind of know how to stash money. So if it's telling you your net worth is 5 million, I'd say double it. So yeah, there you go. So he's got a good reason to refine his story. I'm not saying he has, but should I continue? We're possibly not halfway there, but we're getting there. Well, you guys
I'll play a bit more if you want to.
Yeah, let's go for it, man, because it's his most recent interview, like I said. He's an old boy. He's dyeing his beard, isn't he?
Story, which I think is one of the most famous in the United States and certainly in Arizona, of being taken one night in the woods 50 years ago last month. And of course, we had talked about your experience being taken onto a craft. And then 5 days later, you're back in Arizona. Can you tell us real quick that moment of, like you said, getting off the craft and then trying to go find help?
I ran down, found a telephone booth, and made a phone call. I just must have passed out. I didn't wake up until my brother picked me up and put me in the truck. But he was talking about how concerned my mother was, and something in the exchange there made him say, "Travis, feel your face." And I felt, and I had a 5-day growth of beard. He says, "You've been missing for 5 days." And that was an additional shock for me, because I had no idea. I only had a conscious period of, just a matter of minutes or less than an hour.
I was just going to ask. So that 5 days felt like an hour.
Yeah.
Basically. Wow.
So I was unconscious. And I don't know where that conscious period was, immediately after being struck or later in the period or towards the end of it. I don't know.
And you felt like at some point they were trying to heal you. At that point, did you feel better physically?
Well, I came to that realization later. I was very anxious about the after effects, I had a variety of medical tests, concerned about, I threw myself into work to kind of shut out the memory.
Right.
So I
worked
overtime every day. We took all the days off that I could, working those days. And yet never called in sick one time in all those years afterwards.
Well, one of this, of course, your brother that picked you up, this is Dwayne, right?
Yes.
Who did. Now, of course, here at Fox 10 before, in the early 90s, we were, previous to that, Cool TV, which was the station here for Channel 10 in Phoenix. Now, 5 days, the same day that the press conference was called on November 11th, 1975. Our Cool TV team was there and spoke to your brother about your arrival back in Arizona and what happened. And we actually have that clip, which hasn't been broadcast in 50 years. If we can take a look.
Let's take a look.
He was on a craft of some sort, and he had contact with beings of two different kinds or two different types of people, and they were very much like people.
But they could converse with him?
And they didn't make any speech, no contact, either physical or mental. They didn't, no conversation whatsoever.
So, Travis, when you watch your brother there, what are your feelings seeing that 50 years ago?
Gratitude. I think he really saved my life with his protectiveness. He was a very strong person. He was a amateur boxer, a bull rider, and he wasn't going to be pushed around. And he took me to where I could get help, psychiatrists, medical help in the valley that I wouldn't have got had the local authorities gotten a hold of me.
Can I ask you a little bit more about that, sir? And just what did it haunt you for years to come, or how did you deal with it?
It was definitely something that dominated my nightmares and whatnot. And at the time, since I was interpreting this in terms of attacked by horrible monsters, it was worse then. It was only over time that I gradually realized that if they meant harm, they didn't have to return me at all.
If we could go back to that week, of course, where you're missing for those 5 days. And at the time, of course, the Navajo County Sheriff's Office has launched a search to look for you. Even that night, correct, that part of the other crew, they were going out with the sheriff to look for you at the site in the Apache Sitgreaves National Forest. But they had suspected, correct, that possibly you had met a foul end, that maybe you had been murdered by the crew.
And, it wasn't a harmonious group, one of the guys I'd had a fight with that morning before work, it was just some minor teasing about a girl that I was dating. He went and told her stuff to try to get her to come over to him. But, it was just, it was a kind of a fight that ended when Mike came out and said, "All right, guys, knock it off. Let's get to work." And but one of the guys I had only been on the crew for 3 days, so it wasn't a tightly knit group of buddies all sticking to their story or something, as some people tried to put it. But everyone stuck by what they had seen throughout their lives.
And we should bring up the point about the lie detector test that you all passed.
Yes, every one of us passed multiple lie detector tests. I've taken and passed 5 different tests from various law enforcement agencies, people who test, the CIA, FBI, and that, and people who are skeptical about polygraph aren't very well educated. This is the technique that these agencies use to screen their own people when they're hiring.
And actually, if we could, the press conference that was held that day with Arizona Department of Public Safety, where their state polygrapher came out and talked to the media about you were telling the truth about what you saw. Your crew all had the same story, and here are the results. But we have that clip, if we can watch that right now.
They did, in fact, see something which they believed to be a UFO. And that is strictly what the polygraph proved, that they did, in fact, see something. It does not determine that there was, in fact, a UFO. It determines strictly that they did see something which they believed to be a UFO.
Gilson said 5 of the 6 tests showed conclusively that the men were telling the truth. The 6th was inconclusive. For Channel 10, Chuck Diamond, Cool News.
I'm a little bit annoyed by that one statement. 1 was inconclusive.
Yeah.
I paused it there because the 5 other witnesses, did they say they saw a craft, or did they say they saw a beam of light?
I think they said craft, didn't they?
Because I thought they said they saw a beam of light.
Not too. I'm pretty sure they say craft, mate. I might be wrong on that one, buddy. Might be wrong.
Could you look that up?
What should I put in?
Travis Walton's witness. Are you asking Grok or AI?
Yeah, I can do. Yeah. So did Travis Walton
witnesses? I'll play the rest of it.
No, it's Kraft.
You know, the guy I had a fight with.
Of course, it was him.
Interrupted his test. He thought he was going to be the one that got hung for murder. So he interrupted
and this
the
is
test.
the gentleman right in the film adaptation of Fire in the Sky, who they showed was cutting that tree and looked like he was trying to hit you with it. That happened, right?
He did that. That really happened. But, you know, he was angry that he thought he was going to be the one there pointing the finger at that time. The suspicion was murder. But it wasn't really inconclusive in any nature of the test. All of the.
Did you get it?
So you're saying when he actually went up to the hill and he saw...
What did they witness?
They said he saw that, a craft. This is from the original 1970... This was 1976, so this was less than a year.
They saw a craft take him up?
They saw a craft, yeah.
Okay.
Allegedly.
Okay.
So that's a sketch from the magazine from 1976. Okay, this is what they saw.
Okay, no worries.
All right.
These tests were repeated 3 identical runs to the question. He jumped up, pulled off his sensors, and left after 2 complete runs.
Okay.
He did pass those 2 complete runs. And then he came back later with Cy Gilson and took a full test, which he passed. So the bottom line on him was he passed, not that it was inconclusive.
Important clarification for sure.
Now, can you walk us through just the moments of you're going to talk to the authorities? They have been looking for you. They thought you admit a bad end where possibly you were murdered, and you have this incredible story and you're talking to them. What's the feeling that you have as you're talking to them about this? Where, like, I'm sure it can only be disbelief that they have on their faces.
Well, imagine the mixed feelings that they had. One of them describes walking down the street and having people yell out, "Murderer!" That kind of stuff. Great amount of pressure. And some of my family members were exerting that kind of pressure against the men. On the suspicion that maybe they had killed me. And it was a mixture for me, because then all of a sudden, it wasn't murder. It was, are you crazy? A liar? People love to say, they love to drum up old incidents or something that fulfills their wish fulfillment, that it was something that was just made up. But it was definitely what happened, and it was very hard to cope with. The only thing that I've changed over the years is my interpretation of it. Was it just a vicious attack and all this pain I was experiencing was just torment? But no, I think I did something unexpected, foolish, got myself injured, and that they actually saved my life.
Well, that must help ease some of your memories a little bit too, right? Was there a turning point, maybe psychologically more than anything, where you felt like you can cope with this and go on and have a normal life?
Yeah. And, some of that residual fear and pain happened later when I was with my son and a girlfriend, and we encountered a huge object. And he says, "Dad, should we pull over and take a picture?" I said, "No." And I'm so disappointed in myself. It was so grand. It was so unmistakable. And the only reason I even talk about that, because I don't talk about anything I can't prove, was that there was a group who were gathering reports, and there was like 15 other people who saw what we saw, described it the way we saw it, and didn't know each other. Right. So it was huge and flew from a great distance to us at an extremely high rate of speed, stopped right over the top of us. And it's hard to imagine that's just a coincidence. They didn't speak to me or say hi.
They were checking up on you.
Yeah, but it does seem unlikely that it was an accident that they, in a city the size of Burbank, that they would stop right over the top of us and then proceed at a different angle from that point.
Did you ever get any kind of feeling of why they did what they did? Any resolve there?
Yeah, I kind of figured out something later that perhaps it's a theory that perhaps they were looking for something that's formed when lightning strikes the earth.
Mm-hmm.
It's a rare mineral formation that you can't get any other way. But it's called fulgurite. When I first heard about this, I looked it up. And there's these really strange crystals that are formed when these millions of volts hit the ground.
Is this true?
And I learned that the part of the Mogollon Rim there has the highest frequency of lightning strikes of any place in the United States outside of the Everglades. The Everglades has a higher lightning strike frequency, but that's pretty high.
So there's something to it.
It's just a theory, but
yeah.
What else would they be doing there? Certainly, I don't think it makes sense that they were there to capture some foolish logger running at them.
Yeah, it's not like they're reverse snowbirds or anything,
But
right?
that's
They're
what
just
they
hanging
did.
out in northern Arizona.
Well, we're about to go into a break for a second, and then if we could really want to talk about what those 50 years have been like, telling your story, how many hundreds of thousands, thousands even times to go and obviously relive some of the most terrifying moments of your life.
Yeah.
But again, it's an absolute honor and incredible to hear the story. So
Thank
we
you
do
for
appreciate
listening.
it. Yeah. So
all right.
Again, we'll be right back. You're watching Unknown.
I wanted
Sounds
to catch
great at a
this.
party.
Let's catch the head again.
Welcome back to
There we go. I like it when head's there.
Are you in Toy Story?
Right. So what we think so far?
Oh, mate, I don't know. I don't know. With abduction cases, it's not much to go by than just trust me, bro. Stories. Look, I know we've been joking around on this episode. I know that, but at the same time, Hayden, I don't know. It's like the moon landings. That sort of same scenario. I'm going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. I don't know. I'm sorry, but when you got that guy that looks like Mr. Potato Head on screen, I just cannot take this seriously. I'm sorry.
That's why. It's a great piece though. So I'm trying. I don't want to say anything more. Thank you. It's a great. They've done a great job with the interview though. So, I mean,
what's your thoughts? Tell me.
It hasn't convinced me.
I understand.
My problem with alien abductions, and like there he said again, there's something I don't want to talk about, but other people saw it, yada yada yada. He's not giving us a date. He's not going to give us anything that like you could check on MUFON. It was seen in this date, so we can see a UFO. But I said, you know what? I'm not going to take a picture of it. You know what? This is the one thing that could redeem is say, look, they came back. I was lucky. I had my camera with me. I got it.
Yeah, exactly. That was a bit odd, I have to admit.
You had time. You had time to. I'm going to tell you this now. You say probably like you track the skies, but when you do see something, it's when you don't expect it. And your first thoughts, my first thoughts was not let me grab my picture and see that. I said something in my head like, what the F? And these sightings, they don't happen like, the movies, they're there and they're, so you got something that you can take the time to consider take a picture and decide no. And you're up there talking about it.
Yeah. And didn't he say he doesn't want to talk about anything that he can prove? Well, you're talking about abduction cases here, mate. You're like claims to be abducted, so
I don't know,
mate.
He ain't sold me yet.
He hasn't sold me, but the thing is, it might just be his personality. He doesn't sound like a party person, or social person, so to speak, you know. But again, he's regurgitated this story for the past 50 years, Hidden. So he's probably just got bored of it. And he's most probably got paid to be on this podcast, on this show.
Well, look, I always say people got to eat. I'm not going to begrudge the man a meal. Now, he's told his story and he's played it well, and he's done it good. You know what I mean? He's wrote the book, the movie deal's his, and he can go around and do his talks, and you know he's an old boy and he's lived it out well. And I thought fair play to you, but I'm just saying I came in convinced that this wasn't genuine. You know, there are more things, but still, he hasn't really convinced me. And it just seems Sorry,
carry on.
No, you go.
It's like what Science Evidence Fringe is saying here. You know, he's an entertainer. He should get paid. You need to sell the story. You have to sell it. So you need to exaggerate these stories, exaggerate these claims, because you know you've got a book to sell, you've got interviews to sell, etc., etc. So that comes with the territory. You know, you got to sell it. So you need to make these wild stories. So I understand that comment for sure. Yeah, carry on, Hidden Boy. Sorry, mate.
Well, I'm just gonna press play because we're nearly at the end of it. I think it's a good interview they done with him.
Yeah, sure.
No, and I'm Brian Webb with Trenton Hooker, and we are joined by Travis Walton, who has one of the most interesting stories.
We say his name was
history.
Brian Head.
Actually taken, abducted by a space craft back in 1975, and he's sharing his story with us today. Mr. Walton, thanks again for being here.
Well, thank you for hearing this.
Absolutely. 50 years ago last month. And again, as we've already discussed, our predecessor at Fox 10 was Cool TV. And 50 years ago, as this story was happening, we had a crew there talking first. We already played the clip with your brother, Dwayne. And then, of course, the state also talking about some of the results with the
they were very fair, too. Yeah.
Excellent. Well, one of the parts was 6 months later, you sat down with one of our reporters at the time to tell your story. And listening to it, it's incredible just how the story has not changed in those 50 years. But we have that, if we can play that clip right now.
Most Arizonans are quite familiar with Travis Walton's story. After sighting the UFO, he approached it and claimed he was taken on board. The 6 men with him all passed lie detector examinations regarding the incident. Travis has undergone all sorts of testing and has stuck to his story.
I couldn't focus my eyes very well, but I looked beyond the top edge of the thing that was laying across me, and I saw 2 men leaning over me. They weren't really men. They were a lot like they were a lot like men, but they weren't quite human.
Mr. Walton, I couldn't help notice you there. It is struck by you almost struggling to get that story out. It must have been still emotional at that time.
It was very difficult to talk about, yes. What really helped was the hypnosis that I underwent from Dr. James Harder. He put me in, I hadn't even been able to tell what happened, not even my brother, until that hypnosis. And the technique was to have me describe what happened as a spectator rather than as the person experiencing it. And that really helped a lot. From that moment on, I was at least able to describe what happened. I've come to a different position about these beings and their purpose here. You know, initially it was the boogeyman. It was something to terrify people. And I wasn't retelling the story in order to scare people. As time went on, my willingness to talk about it was to put the event in perspective. That it's inevitable that in a universe so vast, literally millions of galaxies, not just millions of stars, millions of galaxies, You look out there and you see the Milky Way. That's one galaxy, our galaxy. But so many of those points of light are entire galaxies. They point the most advanced telescope we have at the most empty spot in the sky, and they see more galaxies of age far, far millions of years beyond what human beings have been around for. So it's absurd to think the naysayers are actually advocating that humans are the only life in the universe. And it's inevitable that there's other life. As a matter of fact, astronomers have even increased. There's something called the Drake equation. It's the number of planets out there. They've increased that because they say virtually every star has about a dozen planets. So it's the ones that are not too close to the star, getting too hot or too far out, they're too cold.
Goldilocks.
The ones in the middle range, there's going to be a considerable percentage of those that have support life. And how much older than us or younger? I mean, there's probably cave aliens out there, but those are not the ones that are coming here.
And it's been said that you'd have to think we're pretty arrogant to think we're the only living things in the entire universe. Yeah.
And we need to get comfortable with that in order to give ourselves a perspective about the factors that make us make war on each other.
As you've been living your life and what you've seen through the decades, do you feel as if now there is a push to search for these answers where people are seeing things? We obviously have our phones. Everybody has a phone in a pocket, a camera to document some of these things as they're witnessing them. But do you feel that the present moment is more receptive to a story like yours compared to 50 years ago?
I do. I think the reaction is much better, and even conventional news outlets, forgo the little chuckle at the end, because, I don't believe that all reports are sightings of alien beings from other worlds. I think to a very large extent, people misidentify things, but there's a solid core of events that are definitely glimpses of life from other worlds. When I'm asked to say which cases that are reported do I support, I say, I'm not going to go there. I resented my case being judged by people who didn't have the facts, who didn't know the details. And since I can't research all these cases, it would be irresponsible of me to point out which ones are good, solid information.
Well, not really.
Things that really happened and other things that are,
because tell us, and we can research
identification in many cases.
Can I ask you about your decision to stay in the snowflake area? I think if it was me, I might have been long gone for many reasons.
Well,
why? Because your head's too big.
I thought about just clamming up and not talking about it all, but that's not going to work. It's stuck to me like glue. So I can take on the role of being, that nutcase over there, or go ahead and fight the fight and, push back against that. What happened. It was real. If you had 7 people say they witnessed a murder and testify to that, open and shut case.
There are some people in this town who don't believe your story.
Yeah, but they don't tell me that to my face.
How do you respond to that?
I want to be believed because that is my reputation, and it is people's attitudes toward me through my life. When he was hit by the beam, we took off, went up the road here.
That's the question. Why'd you leave?
I think if you'd have been here, you would know that. We left because it was such a thing to happen, I don't know how to explain it. It was just very frightening, and seeing Travis knocked down like that.
I think they only saw a beam.
We'd never seen before, and I guess you just say fear of the unknown.
That, once again, is the story. Whether you believe it or not is your business. What they saw in this clearing was to them a UFO. Jim Ryerson, Cool News 10, in the Sitgreaves National Forest.
My precious.
As you watch that clip with that young man 50 years ago telling that story, Is there anything you wish you could tell him that if he was listening to be able to hear it for now?
Well, yeah, definitely. The things I've discovered and described to you, that helps me to understand that what happened wasn't a representation of the pain and fear that I was feeling, that was incidental to some foolishly risky acts on my part.
I'd be remiss if I didn't ask, did you get a lot of attention from government officials on this afterward?
Yes.
What did they want to know?
Good question.
I think they knew it happened. They have satellites. They probably observed the whole thing, and they had nothing to say, because the original position of the government was, no, there's no such thing. But that wasn't gaining them any credibility. It was losing them credibility. So they decided, okay, we're going to concede. We're going to show gun camera footage of these craft and say, okay, there's something out there of great technology that we don't know what it is, but we're not going beyond that. So they kind of went to a middle ground, but that was released late on a Friday, slow new day. By Monday, everybody was saying, like, so what else is new? So it didn't get much attention like you would think to actually release military gun camera footage. So they did the same stunt later. Same footage was revealed, and they say, we're finally coming clean that there's something there. Again, the same reaction from the public, like, so what else is new? We know there's something out there, but they advanced to a position that's more credible without having to say, we're going to open the files for you. I don't recommend that the government open their files. They have good reason to keep that stuff under wraps. If there's recovered technology, certainly we have countries on this planet that also have technology. And it would not be helpful for government to give into demands to throw open the files and show everybody what we have, because our enemies are not going to show us what they have. So it kind of forms a safety shield, not knowing if we've recovered something that is the trump card, forgive me. No, the power-based, you don't know what we have, we don't know what you have, so let's just be at peace.
Interesting take, yeah.
50 years from this incident, as you were in this part of your life, do you feel like you will see them again or meet them again in this life or the next?
Yeah, I do think that I used to think I had what was called the anthill theory. You walk by an anthill, and how absurd it would be to say, I think I'll stop and have a conversation with that ant right there. We wouldn't do that. It'd be silly. But I've outgrown that. I think not only are they capable of having a conversation with a human, but if you saw one when you were young and you see one as an adult, they know it's you.
Yeah.
You'd say, well, how could they possibly keep track of those millions of points of data? Well, the United States government has something called the Utah Data Center. Acres and acres of computers consuming millions of gallons of water just to cool them, recording every electronic transmission on the face of the earth. Look it up, check it for yourself. But yet, if humans can handle that much data, certainly the aliens can be what they call respecter of persons as far as identifying individuals. Yeah.
Fascinating stuff. Mr. Walton, we appreciate you coming in.
Absolute pleasure, sir.
Good.
All right. Let's see if we can get a good one with head in it.
Oh, God.
Here we go.
Beautiful. Just beautiful.
Botox, anyone? All right, man. But I'll tell you what. I'm with Black Dot. I want to believe him. He comes across as such a nice guy. This is why I can't really hate on him. I want to believe him, and I really don't want to show the other video.
What other video?
There's another one where it debunks. The debunk is thrown at it. I think. Right. I believe.
Well, I remain 50-50 on this Travis Walton case. Again, hey John, how's it going, mate? Nice to see you. Yeah, I mean, if you go back to the early interviews, the little clips we've seen, it does seem quite shaken up. I have to admit. I remain, like I always say, I remain open-minded on this case specifically because it just sounds genuine. You know, like I said, he's had time to sort of put things in perspective into his stories about his case of being abducted, and yeah, Hidden, I'm 50-50. That's all I'm going to say on that one now. I'm not going to deny him. I'm not going to believe him. I'm in between.
Personally, I think that's a cop out because I'm asking for your opinion. So
I don't know. I don't know what to make of this. I really don't know, mate. It's like moon landings. I don't know. I'm 50-50.
So again, you bring up the moon landing, but how can you be 50-50? Me and you've done the research together.
Yeah, I know, but still, I'll remain open-minded. You know.
See, the thing is, I just wanted this guy to sell me a story, and it still hasn't sold me on it.
I understand. You know? I understand.
You know,
yeah.
I can't even say I'm 50-50.
I
like it. I like him. So I will give him a benefit of a doubt on it. I like him. He's a nice person. He's a nice guy. He comes across really nice in that last interview there. He seemed a nice guy. I know Head was overshadowing it. Ed could overshadow everything. But anyways, I agree.
I'm going to go what John Bell is going to say here. I don't know, and I think that's a good substance to put this Travis Walton case for me. Anyway, I just don't know. For instance, Billy Meyer, we know he's a faker.
Okay,
you know.
See, the thing is, right, on the debunk side, from what I can gather, and this is why I was trying to establish what the other witnesses said they saw, because the other debunk works this way. They saw him in a blue beam of light. Now, the debunk to that says that there was on this tower up there. Have you heard this one?
I've heard about this. Yeah, the fire tower.
The fire tower. There's a fire tower up there, and he just basically had somebody in on it on that end. Now, the witnesses, they didn't know what was going on. They were 100% legit. This is why they passed the lie detectors, because what they saw actually is what he portrayed to them. They weren't in on it. So we'll go back to what he did. He had somebody up there shine a blue beam of light from this tower, and then he ran into it, and they took off.
Right.
So from that now is his account. But there's somebody come out and said he was up in this tower for them 5 days. He had food, he had rationing. He was up there. He just laid low for 5 days. But if there was a big search now,
exactly, that's my point. They would have went to the same location.
Wouldn't they have searched the tower?
Exactly. Yeah. So Moody's saying the fire tower did have a blue flood light. It's worth to have a rational synopsis, or whatever the bloody word is. Don't bite my ass off for this one when I get the word wrong. Bring up the video, mate. Just bring it up, because there is a deathbed confession in regards of this case.
Is that the one that we got?
Yeah, I think it's the one I sent you. Yeah. Do you want me to bring it up, mate? I can bring it up if you want.
No, I'll do it my end. I got ad blocker. Damn you, ad blocker. Right. Hold on. There we go. Because there's two on here that's interesting, isn't there? There's that one for 9 minutes and one for 5 minutes. It's him failing the polygraph test. Yeah, which we know about already. You want the call one? Okay. We won't play the other one then.
I remember leaving a chainsaw on the stump, okay? He had a saw, but he took his with him because we were talking about
All right, start it from the beginning, yeah? Is that too loud for everyone, or is that nice and loud?
It's fine, I can hear it.
All right.
because that we were talking in the woods one day, Travis and I remember leaving a chainsaw on the stump. Okay, he had a saw, but he took his with him because we were talking about creating a UFO hoax. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know how the UFO got there. Okay, but I remember that when I was driving the truck and he jumped out, it was all deliberate. It was all a staged thing. Okay.
Yeah.
And he ran up there, and there was something about the UFO not being real, although it looked real.
Well, basically, so
and of course,
what you're saying is, you and Travis together hoaxed this.
yeah. Actually, Travis's brother Dwayne helped him.
I believe that.
Philip Plass actually suspected that Dwayne was part of it.
Yeah.
I mean, he was his protector, and he was saying weird things on that Fred Sylvanus interview. I have nothing. I don't fear at all for his life. I know where he's at.
I know that was
blah,
really
blah, blah, you know?
That was really bizarre.
And I thought all along that he was just trying to how would you say it? Make himself believe that his brother was okay.
Yeah, that's what you had told me.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, if let's say today you could walk me through the entire thing of how and why and blah blah blah, how the process would work. Yeah. Just so you're aware, how the process would work is, I would put.
Let's go out for the site, you know, and let's have dinner and all that stuff, you know, because I definitely need
well,
to
we can have dinner at that. If we're going to go out to the site, we can just have dinner at that Casa Ramos.
Yeah, that's right.
I don't know if it's
and
good.
Then have another one down the way, because that one is closed sometimes. There's another one down the way.
Alberto's.
Alberto's.
Yeah, Alberto's is good. I've been there.
But that's like you're supposed to eat outside or take it with you.
Yeah, I'm not sure if they have indoor dining because of COVID. I'm not really sure.
I looked in there and they have indoor dining. So they have indoor tables and stuff, but for some reason they don't use them.
Maybe it might be a COVID thing.
We went by there and stopped there first, and they just had a window where you could order at, you know?
Yeah, well, all Alberto's have that. That's part of their business.
Yeah. Anyway, the other place, it's actually where we ate, though. You know,
the Casa Ramos? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Do you know who painted that big mural? That's new. By the phone booth.
I have no idea.
Can we stop
In fact, my friend Richard here just about 2 hours ago texted me.
Just talking about food.
What it was, a phone text. I'll tell you this, it isn't very good.
Wow.
It's nothing like, you know, I used to paint signs and
Yeah. Well, let's continue to talk more.
The guy has that beam like.
Somebody
I
got
looked at it. I sit there and looked at it, and I thought, "Oh, what the hell?"
I'll get back up, but even if I were to head back right now, I wouldn't get.
Oh yeah.
Thought he might push him some more to talk some more.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense what he's saying.
Doesn't really, doesn't it? And Moody says he was portraying the Phoenix Lights to be fake as well. So again,
yeah, it doesn't make sense what he's saying. And then to ramble on about food, but nah, I don't know. He doesn't make sense.
Maybe Mike is just jealous that Travis has got all the attention.
I believe Travis more than I believe this guy. That's for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Not saying that I believe Travis, but something sinky with this guy's story. He's like, somehow he got a UFO over there.
Yeah.
It's so nah.
I hear you, brother. I hear you. Yes, Slim Yin, I talk about food a lot. I'm always like, what am I going to eat for food for today? And then
let's see what else is. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, that's all right. It's all good. Go on then. Come say hello. There we go.
Let's see. Polygraph. Travis Walton called out for lying on the Geraldo show. Oh, let's have a look at this one. Remember Geraldo Rivera?
Hello, mate.
No, he's pouring away.
7 of us. We were working in the woods. In near Heber, Arizona, and we had quit for the day, and we were driving down this logging road, and it was just starting to get dark. It wasn't quite dark; it was not dusk, and one of the guys in the back says, "What's that?" And there was a light coming through the trees off to the right, up ahead, and when we got around this thicket of trees where we could see what it was this, this object hovering about 100 feet off the road. And, we stopped the truck and we sat there watching it. And I got out and I walked up closer to it, to get a closer look. What happened? Well, I jumped down behind this log, and as I raised up to go, I just felt a numbing shock. I blacked out. And my friends in the truck said they saw a beam come out of the craft and strike me in the head and the chest and knock me back through the air about 10 feet there. And they panicked and ran, they drove off.
Can I ask you, before you tell me the rest of the story, had you been taking any drugs on?
No, I just put in 8 hours of very hard labor.
Booze?
Nope, I was not hallucinating. I was not drunk, not crazy.
Okay, what happened?
When I finally became conscious, I looked around and I saw these 3 creatures standing over me.
What'd they look like?
They were a little under 5 feet tall. They had very large eyes. Small nose, small mouth, small ears. They were very pale skinned. They had no hair, no eyelashes.
Were they human?
No, I wouldn't say they were human. It was very horrible. I jumped up, and there was this thing laying across me. It fell off, and I knocked them away from me. And I staggered over against the table there, and I lashed out at them with this thing that was laying there. But they started towards me, and then they stopped, and then they turned around and left all at once, and that was the last I saw of them.
Robert Schaefer is a member of the privately funded Committee to Scientifically Investigate Claims of the Paranormal. His specialty is UFOs. Bob, what do you think of Travis's story?
Well, unfortunately, there's very good evidence that what Travis is saying is not true, that in fact this is a deliberate hoax. Do you expect people to believe that your mother would tell the police, don't bother to look for him, he's not on this earth?
After a search of the area, and of course, she knew the men, and she naturally assumed that what had happened.
Travis has took a lie detector test after he supposedly reappeared, and he flunked it. And he flunked it very badly.
I was in too emotionally overwrought condition to take a test that soon after the incident. By the way, I did take one later, which was passed.
By a less experienced examiner while the boss was out of town.
Well,
the
so there
boss
were
came
two
back.
tests. There were two polygraph tests. You failed the first, which was shortly after the alleged incident, and you passed the second. Is that what
But
happened?
more than that, if they covered up the fact that he'd failed the first one. The APRO, a UFO group, had paid for it along with the National Enquirer. And when Travis didn't pass, they kept the whole thing secret. There was like a cover-up, Watergate style. They deep-sixed the embarrassing evidence, and then they stonewalled it in public.
Would have loved to see more of that.
What was the interview on that one, mate? Well, who?
Gerardo Herrera. Let me see if I can pull it up because I can't spell it.
Is that 1970s, 1980s? What do you reckon?
Let's see if this guy gave anything. June 1977.
So look. Interview. So look. Oh, I found it.
Go on.
Okay. Got
Okay.
it.
Let me get me off. All right.
Okay, where were you to? Hold on.
This is a deliberate hoax. Do you expect people to believe that your mother would tell the police, don't bother to look for him, he's not on this earth?
After a search of the area, and of course, she knew the men, and she naturally assumed that what had happened.
Travis has took a lie detector test after he supposedly reappeared, and he flunked it. And he flunked it very badly.
I was in too emotionally overwrought condition to take a test that soon after the incident. By the way, I did take one later, which was passed.
By a less experienced examiner while the boss was out of town.
Well,
and the
so
boss
there were
came
two
back.
tests. There were two polygraph tests. You failed the first, which was shortly after the alleged incident, and you passed the second. Is that what
But
happened?
more than that, if they covered up the fact that he'd failed the first one. The APRO, a UFO group, had paid for it along with the National Enquirer. And when Travis didn't pass, they kept the whole thing secret. There was like a cover-up, Watergate style. They deep-sixed the embarrassing evidence, and then they stonewalled it in public.
Now, you and Dr. Hynek used to work together, true, Robert?
I was a student at Northwestern.
When did you ever believe in UFOs?
I've been interested in UFOs for a long time. When I was a lot younger, I thought that there may well have been something to it, but
And now?
since then I've changed that opinion.
And your present opinion is?
I'm pretty skeptical about the whole thing. What always puzzles me is how is it that UFOs always somehow manage to slip away before the evidence becomes too convincing.
What about President Carter's sighting? May I ask you about that?
Right, I've investigated that one. I've made a number of phone calls down to Leary, Georgia, which is where it reportedly happened, and it just goes to show that even the most reliable and trustworthy person can be very mistaken in reporting something like a UFO because President Carter's supposed UFO lines up perfectly with the position of Venus in the sky.
Dr. Hynek, what do you think of Travis's story, briefly?
Well, I think
he is.
that he underwent, I understand, a Minnesota multiphasic personality inventory and passed it with high colors. It showed that he was not psychotic or was not given to deception. Now, if that is so, I think that's a point in his favor. But what I've always felt about this case, I've divided it into two parts. One is the first part involving all seven, and they took lie detector tests and passed them. It fits a pattern. You see, if this were the only case on record, then I would have to say, well, I couldn't possibly believe it. But at the Center for UFO Studies now we have some 24 similar abduction cases now currently being studied. Something is going on.
My only commentary on this UFO segment is that I wish I could see one of them. Stay with us. We'll be right back after this.
There we go.
He's the Don Manueldo.
He is, mate.
He's
King
the
of
Don.
haircuts.
I remember him though. I remember when he was with the clan members. Took a chair for the Klan. Yeah.
So yeah. I
Should
mean,
we have
Jay and sorry, carry on.
No, you.
I mean, it's good to see Dr. Heinrich involved in this case, because he came from a skeptic point of view and then changed into a believer. Obviously, the cases we looked at, the Lonnie Zamora case and the Pascagoula case. So, yeah, interesting.
Yeah, I think that's
right, darling.
I'm still not convinced.
I don't know. Even my cat here. Want to say hello, darling? He muted the mic. Bless him. Oh dear. I don't know. Oh.
Still a lot of
I don't know.
Still a lot of. It's still a better story than Chris's story.
Chris is who?
What's his name?
Chris Bledsoe.
Yeah. Still a better story than still a more convincing story than his line.
Yeah, for sure. I don't know. I remain open-minded, but I just don't know, mate. I don't know, mate. I really don't know. So that's what I got.
It's again. There's no physical evidence. Was there a possibility he could have faked it? Was the money? I wish I could find that interview with his school friend, because they interviewed his school friend, and he's the one that's been calling him out from the get-go, saying it's all a hoax, man.
Oh right, okay.
Because they planned some hoax where they wanted to fly some balloons over, but had lights tied to them, and say it was a UFO sighting. And that was when they were at high school.
Oh, interesting. All right, okay.
Does anybody remember that in the chat? I don't know, man. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I'm not going to let the fact that he's making money from it be mad about it, because you got to eat. If it did happen and people want you to go around the world talking, and you got to give up your career and make this your career, then that's what it is. Yeah. If he's lying and he sold somebody that, then that's your business. That however you want to feel about him, that's your business. Me personally, I don't know. I don't know. I haven't changed. I'm more skeptical about it because I like evidence. If he had a photograph, which he doesn't, he's got an experience. But there's no physical evidence.
Yeah, no substance to it.
Did he go to hospital for trauma? Did they run tests on him when they found him at the side of the road with his pants down? No, not to make a joke, but in this day and age, if that happened, you know who would be straight up turning away and doing swab and culture, looking for DNA or anything, trauma.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? There's where's that kind of medical evidence? Even that would. Sorry,
because he was saying when he was laying on the bed when he was abducted, he was in tremendous pain. That would leave at least some sort of, trauma to the body, at least for him to be examined, and nothing.
Well, just the fact that you've been missing for 5 days. They find you in that kind of state, yeah. Rock up to the hospital.
Yeah.
Could be dehydration. I know the theory that time is different in all these things. So you may go into a craft and it may seem to you like 20 minutes, but in reality it's a few days.
Yeah.
Is it time displacement?
I believe that's the case.
I think that's the term. Yeah, I can get all that, but surely the people on the road would say, man, you've been missing for 5 days. You know, let's go to the hospital, get you checked out. There's none of that.
I don't know on this one, mate. I really don't know. I
You ain't sold it.
Yeah, I understand. It's part of, like I said, UFO lore. And you're going to get people that's going to believe it. So there's some people that you don't. So we're all entitled to our own opinions. But for me, on this one, I just don't know. Like I said, he hasn't really sold it for me. I mean, if you look at like George Adamski, he actually has photographs which are obviously faked. Obviously, because you could say it's too good to be true. Same with Billy Meyer. We know they're all fakers because the photographs could be traced back into books. You know, do you understand? There's some substance to go by.
That's it. You can debunk him, and if you could, all I'm saying is if you can pick a debunk on these guys. It's hard to say what I'm going to say, but Chris is a prime candidate.
Bledsoe.
Yeah, he's a prime candidate. I didn't like what he did. I didn't like my beef now is Edgar Rice Casey. I'm going to have to defend the man because he ain't here to defend himself. And I didn't like that move you pulled. Trying to be a prophet off of Edgar Rice Casey. That's awful, man. Awful. That's like somebody coming up and stealing Tesla designs and saying, "Well, that's me. I made this up. It came to me."
I mean, going what Moody's saying here, and this is the whole part of what we do here on Hidden Underbelly, and also what I do here on Alien Addict, because there's only so much I can talk about current, up-to-date ufology, which is an absolute gobshite of a bloody community. It really is, because of social media has changed so much. So we have to go into the past, like I do here with my books, my magazines, even the UFO documentaries, to see that the same stories get told over and over and over again. Nothing changes. It's part of UFO lore. And these new people that come out with these new theories, which is nothing new, it's just old stuff. I mean, you want to talk about interdimensional beings, it's in a magazine here from the 1970s. There you are, UFOs from, the fourth dimension. This is it. It's just when someone is new to the community, it's exciting. I understand that because I was there once. But the thing is, we need to look into the past to understand the future.
Or understand the grift.
Yeah, in other words, understand the grift. Understand that these people like Chris Bledsoe are just regurgitating stuff that has been sold many times before.
He's playing a game.
Again,
he's playing a game, man.
He's playing a game, but trust me when I say this. Trust me, bro. They are going to fail. Give it to 2027 when, the white lady and all that nonsense is just nonsense. It's nonsense. The documents about to come out through the Trump administration, nonsense. Disclosure, nonsense. It's not going to happen. Again, it's just regurgitated information.
At the end of the day, you got to see it this way. Don't worry. You could just see it this way. No, I ain't gonna say anything.
You gotta say something because I need to bring out a magazine.
Nah, can't say it, but I want to say it. If there's no arrest over the files that came out right now, what do you think they're going to play at us, man? Who cares what the government got to say at this point? Who cares? And it should have been like that 5-6 years ago. Y'all should have just been saying, who cares? Who cares, man? Who cares? There's so many soldiers out there that, I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't really care. Me personally, I don't really care. If something comes out of the files that's interesting, fair enough, but who cares? I don't care. I'm sorry. I'm sure there's people out there that really are waiting on tenterhooks.
Right. I'm going to show you a UFO magazine from June of year 2000. And this magazine was talking about, we are going to get the files. We are going to get disclosure. From just the proof is in the pudding, June of 2001.
Yeah.
£2.50. £2.50?
Nothing.
£2.50. Nothing has changed, guys. Disclosure. Nothing has changed in 25 years, or even throughout the history of ufology. Trust me when I say this, nothing is going to happen in terms of disclosure.
But it has happened. That's the whole thing.
Yeah.
And we've got people like the Black Vault, you know, and others like him that are pushing all the time through the Freedom of Information Act for files to be released that they know they ain't putting out there. So once these files are getting out there, they're getting out there, and you know, great job you guys are doing out there. But I think that's where we're at with this. Is there any more? Is there any more we got to say about Travis Walton?
Not really, mate, but check this out. Military government witnesses provide testimony on UFO extraterrestrials' presence. Nothing new. Nothing new. Say it in Congress. Doesn't mean it's true. Do you know what I mean?
You know, interesting fact, I was actually at that meeting then.
Was you?
Yeah. I was a young soldier. I was about 21.
Did you get probed?
No, sir.
You didn't admit it.
No, I was part of the retrieval team.
Was you wearing a wig?
No, sir. No, sir. I looked like John Reacher back then. Nah, I'm playing.
Oh, mate. So I'm just looking for my magazines to see if there's anything relevant to today's topic, but we're going to obviously leave that for another time. So to understand the past, go through the magazines like we do here on The Hidden Underbelly and Alien Addict, to understand the grift, the stories.
Well, it's not so much the grift, man. It's not so much the grift, man. I don't know. I like him. You know. I like Travis Walton. I like him. You know. I like him.
Yeah.
I hope.
I just
I don't know what to say, 'cause I still don't believe him. But that's what I gotta say. I still don't believe him. I don't know. But I like him.
You don't know, but you don't know, but you don't believe him, but you don't know. Which one is it?
See,
for
it's
me,
kind of
I just don't know.
I'm not 100% to say, you know what? There's still that room that something could have happened. I'd like to know what the witnesses saw. You know,
obviously it's been 50 years since then, so again,
yeah, some of them dead, but there must have been some interviews with him.
I think so. Yeah. We can always revisit this case at some other point, mate. You know, it's not the end.
Yeah.
It's part of UFO lore.
Well, we could slam it into another one, but should I share my interest in news with people?
Please do. I'm just going to quickly shut the door. Quickly, 2 seconds. But yeah, go ahead, Hidden.
Well, there's been a follow-up to I hope you guys are going to help me in chat. When did the Westall? Am I saying it right?
Westall, yeah.
Westall. When we did that show, I said to you, you know what, we need to look into this sighting a bit more, because like Nick is the researcher, and also
that
leave it the right way up. Then you can see that's it. You can see the bell. It's a bell, man. It's a bicycle bell.
That's the photograph, guys. That's the photograph. So yeah.
Yeah. So on that live show, we said that we were going to go into a deep dive with it. And I said, I know a contact to a guy who covered it named Grant Villax. Am I saying it right? Please, somebody in the chat know this guy. He was actually in a documentary that we showed. Well, anyways, I've reached out to him, and he said he will love to be on the show. So we're gonna work it out because he's in Australia and we're in the UK. That's the name, Sadie. You got it. Grant. What did I say? I call everybody by the wrong name. That's his name.
Perfect. Beautiful.
You want to? So yeah, he's agreed to come on the show. So we're going to get a show and we're going to revisit that. Because
beautiful.
Yeah. I did tell Nick about that. That
yeah,
picture
was on the show.
Was it like about it? That picture was about 3 days. Was it 3 or 4 days prior to the sighting? But wow, all those sources, man, up to 3 flying saucers were seen at the time.
Impressive.
So this guy Grant, I'm gonna ask him, how do I pronounce your last name? Levac.
Yeah, I think that's right. Levac.
Yeah, Grant Levac. You want to Google him? But he's like the lead investigator, am I right, and researcher of this case. So boy, he's gonna have some answers. Now, you know what?
Greg Levac. Yeah.
Is it Greg? Did I say? Am I calling him Grant?
Oh, sorry, Grant. Sorry, my bad.
Oh,
I put it in Google. My bad. Yeah. Oh dear. But no, I'm looking forward to it, mate. Yeah, that could be awesome. An awesome show. So it gives me a bit of time to sort of prepare for the Westall UFO incident, because it's an immensely fascinating case. I had to go check out Hidden Underbelly show from last night. Yeah, amazing. It really is very intriguing. So I'm definitely looking forward to it. So I think we're going to let Hidden organise that. It'll be in the next probably couple of weeks after the 420 show. And yeah, I'm looking forward to it, brother. Looking forward to it. And John P. Adventures, I hope you learnt your lesson. Never interview a flat earther, because they have no patience. They will be so rude and arrogant, misogynistic, narcissistic, stubborn. It's their way or the highway. Don't bother with them. Anyway,
I hope you learnt your lesson.
But God bless you, John, for the patience. But
learn your lesson, man. Learn your lesson. Don't talk about it. Don't talk about it. Don't talk about it.
Don't go there.
You know, there's an old saying, you should never argue with stupidity, because they will beat you on experience alone. So you just don't do it. Walk away. Walk away.
This is there's one channel, I don't know I can't remember what the YouTube channel it was called, but he just deals with flat earthers, and it is just, my God, the arrogance of these people. It's like, but it's just like it's all been backed up. What you've been saying is complete nonsense. You know, it's all been proven scientifically, but this they don't want to know. They're like, no, it's my belief system. I'm right. It's like, hold on, but look at this evidence right here.
You've been conditioned into the matrix.
Yeah, it's complete. There's no point arguing with stupidity.
That's why when we played the Artemis launch, I had to point out the curvature.
Oh, mate, honestly, they still think that is fake. It was an inflatable balloon. I'm not going there. I can't.
Rocket balloon again, did you say?
Don't start with rocket balloon. I just dropped myself right into that one, didn't I?
You sure did. Did Nick say rocket balloon? How many of you all heard that?
I did allude to it, yeah. But we are. When I was on the Daily Conspiracy podcast, I was talking to Lee, and I said we are living in the day and age of the conspiracy theorist. Is because of social media has convoluted people's minds. Is that the right word? We are living in a world where there is just no rational thought, no common sense. Anything that has to deal with mainstream media, you must immediately dismiss it. It's like, well, hold on, we have to look at both sides of the equation here. But it's like, no, I don't want to look at that because
you mean mainstream science?
Mainstream science, sorry, that's what I'm trying to say here. Yeah, very dangerous time we're living in terms of information. Thanks, social media.
I don't understand where this has come from. Why?
Social.
It's kind of.
I can't talk about. It's because of what happened 6 years ago. That's where it all started.
What happened 6 years ago?
The thing when we had to have the jibby jabby, we were all locked up in our own homes, is because it's pushed people away from science, mainstream science, I should say. And now the conspiracy theorists are now patting themselves on the back. It's like, yeah, we're right about everything because we got this right. It means everything I've been talking about conspiracies is now right. It's like, no, you're being a narcissist, you're stubborn, and you need to take a step back and need to think and process. But this is where we're living in, mate. You know, we need a conspiracy theory friend, and we're living in a very, very dangerous time at the moment. I'm not saying that. These are conspiracy theorists are saying that. I had a conversation with Lee about it. We're living in a very, very, in terms of information, why should I get my information about conspiracies someone who just doom scrolls through their phone on X or Twitter, and they claim that they know everything that's going on.
Go like that.
Yeah,
words above their head.
Yeah, or do a TikTok video of them taking another conspiracy video and going.
At the moment,
what are you doing? Like, you seriously, you little idiots.
At the moment, there's one that's trying to infiltrate Reddit, and it's quite funny because she's a lovely young lady, but she floats around the screen. Like she floats around the screen, and they put her she put herself into the UFO section. They were like ripping her, saying the only UFO is that thing floating around the screen.
Anyway, let's end the show there. And also be back next week for, I don't know, Betty Barney Hill. Do you want to do that one?
That's your call, man.
Yeah, let's do Betty and Barney Hill. Go for
Betty
it.
and Barney Hill, you heard it. So look out for some lovely AI thumbnails. Hey, they're looking good. What did you think to the Travis Walton one?
Yeah, it's pretty good, mate. Yeah, it's pretty good. Yeah.
I thought the AI did a good job.
Yeah, it's pretty good, I have to admit.
Okay, well that's it then. Benny Hill and Barney Hill.
Betty and Barney Hill.
Travis Walters, much love to you, man. Much love to you.
Yeah, mate.
You played the game long and you played it hard. Respect for that. Respect.
Yeah, mate.
That's all I can say. Right. We're going to end the show.
Let's do it.
Oh, is John P. Adventures still here? We got to get in touch with you. John P., man, you coming on the 420 show. You got to have a smoke with us. Okay?
Yeah, let's do it. Absolutely.
And I need a 420 song, John P. I know you're still there. There he is. I need a 420 song. Please. Yes. Good. You still got my email. We're going to have a nice 420 song. Do me a couple, man. Do me a couple. We'll drop some Cheech and Chong videos on that. All right, then. Okay. That's it. Let's call it a night. I want to watch Daredevil. Sweet. And those of you people out there that's been waiting, tomorrow night, The Boys, the final season is here. You ever watched The Boys, Nick?
I do indeed, yes.
Do you?
Yeah. I haven't watched the last season, but yeah.
Oh, the last season's a bit strange, man.
Okay.
It's a bit weird. Can I tell you what they did? Can I tell you what pissed me off?
Go on then, quickly.
You know Frenchie?
Mm.
They made him gay.
Yeah, I know that. Oh, yeah, I know that. Yeah.
Did you?
Yeah.
Did you see that coming? Did you see that coming?
Yeah, because he's having a relationship with that other dude, isn't it? I remember seeing it. Yeah. Anyway,
I never saw that coming. when I tuned into the last season, and when that happened, I was like, where did this come from? I didn't know he was gay. Because you always thought him and the girl was going to get together. But anyways, well, that's it.
Whatever floats his boat. So
well, I'm looking forward to the boys, man. I'm looking forward to seeing the butcher.
Awesome, mate. But thanks to everyone in the chat. Much appreciated. Thank you.
Okay. And as soon as I get some videos, man, but they ain't been nothing good. There's been some good stories popping out. So I'll be on it. So until next time, I don't want to say goodbye. Hold on. Say goodbye, Nick. I got the wrong intro. But outro. I mean outro. But anyways.
Awesome.
There we go. We're done. Good night, everybody. Thank you for turning up.
Yeah.
Much love to you. Look forward to seeing you next week. And I'm stoned.
Clearly. Good night, everyone.
And I have to. Sorry. Just wanted to say rest in peace.
Yeah, Nick Pope. Yeah. Rest in peace, brother. Well, thanks for all the work.
Yes, thank you. Legend. Good night, everyone.
Hidden underbelly, deep and wide, chasing saucers in the starry skies. Truth uncovered where the shadows lie. Big up our brother, he's the cosmic guide. All hidden, your light is never forbidden. Hidden, all hidden, the truth you've always given. Whispers of the cosmos in the night, shining answers through your second sight. Investigations that you bring to light, mysteries unfolding your endless fight. All hidden, your light is never forbidden. Hidden, the truth you've always given. Saucer trails in cosmic tales, through the static you prevail. Hidden brother on the case, bringing truth to every space.